Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. So we had the political fundraiser at our house the other night.
How did you ascend down on wires?
No, I
while
didn't.
Kim Commando Symphony of Music was being played?
No, I just kind of showed up.
Okay. That's the other option.
And help set up and do all kinds of good things like that. And I was really astounded and amazed about how many people came over to me and said, I really like the show. I listened to the show because there are people there from all across the country.
Right.
So we had people from New York and Washington, D.C. that listened to the show. But I was really surprised the number of people who came and said, I really love the show, really love the podcast. And then you've been to public events where people actually they'll say, oh, it was so funny when you said this.
Right.
And you're like, didn't quite remember, but you
didn't remember. You just play along. You're like, yes, that was great.
That was a great bit.
Oh, there's Cliff over there. I'm going to go talk to Cliff real quick.
But the most interesting part was when a couple came over to me. And he is an attorney, and they're probably both in their early 50s.
Okay.
So he starts the conversation by saying, Kim, I love the show, but I have to tell you, I really love the newsletter.
Oh, that's sweet.
And he said, and then she's like, yeah. She said, we're laying in bed. And she said, and here's what happens. He gets up, opens up his phone. He doesn't even look at his email anymore. He just opens up the Kim Commando Show newsletter.
That's great.
And she said, and he starts going, oh, this is really great. And then he chuckles because, you have a couple of one-liners in there. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, and I really like, the web water cooler where it's all about the latest news. And then she's like, yeah, she goes in and then, at least 3 or 4 times while we're laying there. He's like, you're not going to believe what Kim said. You're not going to believe what Kim said. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I'm so sorry that, because she was looking like she was getting mad.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much Kim Commando waking up every day. So I looked at her and I said, I'm really sorry that this happens. She's like, no. She said, this is really great. I said, really? Why? She said, he has been bugging me for a 3-way for years and years and years and years.
That's all it took?
That's
a tech newsletter?
And now they get their 3-way.
This guy's got the weirdest kink ever.
And on that happy note, welcome. It's Kim Commando Today, because after all, I'm Kim Commando, and it is today. And it's your fun podcast about all things digital. And joining me, of course, is Andrew Babinski. What are you talking about today?
So AI is going to start dating AI, and then they're going to have little AI babies.
Okay.
That's what's going to happen.
Is it?
Yes, if the makers of Bumble have their way.
Oh, yes. Bumble. I read about this.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
It is weird. Initially we thought online dating was weird, but now it's getting
whole new ball game.
It's just it's like eHarmony on steroids.
Crack?
Yeah, crack.
Horse tranquilizers?
And so if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, we love you for that. But you can also check out the video version, because then you can see exactly what my fit is today.
And your Mother's Day gift from your son.
My shoes.
Fancy shoes. Don't go too high. Don't hold them up onto the camera too much.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, wiki feet.
Yeah, exactly. Still trying to get my feet off of there.
You never will.
No, it's just there. And so we want you to like, comment, share, whether you're getting the audio or the video version over at youtube.com/Kim Commando. That's youtube.com/Kim Commando. That's the easiest way.
And you can also follow the show so you know exactly when it starts.
Yes.
You know exactly when we post new videos, new reels, all that jazz.
And you're just going to love it. And don't forget, enter to win that brand new iPhone 15. Let me tell you, people love to enter to win an iPhone 15.
Is it a little better turnout than the Amazon gift card?
Yeah, the $10 Amazon gift card was not
Didn't
really.
float the boat.
No, not at all. Go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. Winfromkim.com. All right, so we're going to start off with the top 5 things you need to know that's happening with tech right now. And they had the big announcement, OpenAI. Did you hear about it?
I didn't. The Google replacement, the search engine?
No, actually, they didn't do that.
Oh, what's the announcement then?
It's they're now calling it ChatGPT-4o.
Okay.
4o, like the letter O, not 0. Because normally it's 4.0.
Right, yeah.
Okay, but now they're mixing things up.
Okay.
It's 4o.
Why?
And so it's going to be ChatGPT-4 is free for everybody.
Oh, really?
So you no longer have to pay the $20. Now that's smart. You know why?
Wait a minute, hold on. What about the people who are paying?
You're going to get faster processing time.
That sounds fake to me.
It does, doesn't it? I think this is a whole new ploy to like really just suck in as many people as they can to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have so many different competitors now. You have Perplexity, Copilot, Gemini, Claude, Poe, and the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. So now you can use ChatGPT-4 for free.
Do I still go to the same place and they've replaced the old one that I was using with the new one?
Yes, and they have some new features. It can understand and respond to spoken words. So now you can actually talk to your AI. I would love that. I can't wait to try that out. It can also handle text and pictures, and it responds immediately. It can even notice how you're feeling by the tone of your voice and respond in different ways according to your mood.
Will it pop out pictures as well?
Yes, but you can also show it pictures and say, what is this?
That's a picture.
Isn't that something? Works with 50 different languages.
This is so strange to me that they are giving all this away for free. And I would be so annoyed if I paid for it all this time.
I have been paying for it.
Right. Are you annoyed?
Yeah, I am. But I understand the marketing behind it.
Well, yeah, but how many people are like you that step back and go, well, I get the marketing. Most people don't care.
Well, what I think is really cool is that you can show it a picture and then ask what's happening in that picture. If you are generating a whole bunch of computer code, you can just like hold up the code and say, where is it wrong?
That's amazing. It's really smart.
It is. It is. And so now I'm sure Google's going to have their announcement.
When?
Tomorrow.
Were they waiting? They were waiting for ChatGPT to go first?
Well, I think ChatGPT came in first and went, here we are.
Beat you to it.
Okay. And so we're looking at new Pixel phones, tablets, and of course, AI integrated in search. And, everybody at Google is going like, oh, crap right now.
I told you the story when it happened to me where the AI integrating the search just happened without me even knowing. I just did a Google search, asked it a question, and the listing came up, a normal Google search results where it's got some sponsor ones and then some normal ones. And then all of a sudden, this big orange box pops up and has the exact answer I was looking for.
What was that sound effect?
Right there on the screen. That's a tech term.
Okay, so if anybody's like listening and watching right now, you hear that sound effect. That's because we don't have enough sponsors to pay for sound effects.
We don't need them. You got me.
So
I'm a regular Michael Winslow.
If you want us to take this podcast to the next level,
please advertise.
Please advertise. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile got their hands slapped. $10.22 million, which between the three of them really isn't a lot of money. They want to settle claims of false advertising. The ads promised unlimited data plans, free phones, and guess what? Restrictions apply.
The restrictions were that the data plans were not unlimited and the phones were not free?
Check your bills. Oh, I don't know who this person is because, me in sports, we are like so good at together.
Yeah. Okay. Huge sports ball fan.
There is a Philadelphia baseball player. What's the name of the team?
Phillies.
Oh, is it the Phillies?
Yeah.
Okay. The Phillies, he's a shortstop.
Okay.
Do you know the guy's name?
No, I don't watch baseball. I gave up on baseball years ago.
Oh, Trea Turner.
No, never.
Didn't know it.
Trey Turner? TREA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Trey?
Trey Turner.
Okay, I don't know these.
He's a former Dodger. I actually am familiar with him.
Oh, okay. What's his name?
Trey.
Trey
Turner.
Okay, Trey is TRAY.
Okay.
Trey is not TREA. That's Trea.
His is. You really thought it was Trea Turner?
Yes. Do you remember years ago, I was trying to pronounce Kanye West, and I was like, Kanye. And you looked at me, and you're like, what?
Well, but you're not alone. The first day I was call screening for you, 20 years ago, I typed Wi-Fi, the letter Y.
You did.
F-I-E.
Yes, I remember. Oh my God. I was like, they just hired the biggest dope in the world. This is how it's starting out.
So you're not alone. Trey Turner.
Okay, Trea Turner. So there was this online forum where a whole bunch of people were saying like, oh man, he's not a good baseball player. He's awful. Take him off the team. And this woman who's 70 years old, she's like, no, he is the best ball player ever. He's the greatest of all time.
He's huge with the seniors.
Exactly. Okay.
Did it turn out to be Trey?
Well, she got a note from him and said that he was having marriage troubles. And he needed $50,000.
Oh.
So she sent him $50,000.
No. Trey Turner makes like $15 million a year.
Yes.
And Trey makes even more.
Okay. So just don't watch out for phishing emails and DMs that are targeting you on comments on social media posts.
It's smart, though.
Message
Scammers
boards
are getting
like
so
that.
smart.
Have you ever missed a connecting flight?
Never.
You will now. No. Airlines have now, they've come out and said they're using AI and that they are coming up with new ways. So like, for example, if you are scheduled to catch a flight and that your plane's running late, is that AI is going to make like the plane that you're connecting to actually wait for you just a little bit if there are enough people. So instead of just that nasty person at the gate saying, sorry,
right.
You missed your
flight. It makes sense though, because if your flight's delayed, half of the flight is going to be on the other one. So it makes sense that they wait a little bit.
Yeah, because then you have like how many pissed off people.
Right. And you're booking, you're just causing yourself more problems.
So AI, so I think
that's a good use of it.
I think that's going to be plain awesome.
Lame. So lame.
I don't think it was lame.
It was.
Okay. The husband and wife having a three-way every morning with me.
Hilarious.
They're going to laugh right now.
No, there's no way. That one. Even in the midst of their menage a trois, they're not going to laugh at that one.
So did you have a chance to see any of the solar storms? I saw nothing in Phoenix.
I got a text like at 8 o'clock at night or something. Are you doing it tonight? And I'm like, I was asleep. I was already in bed.
Not going to happen. Well, there weren't too many tech disruptions.
Okay.
Starlink satellite, they did report some glitches. But I thought this was really interesting. The GPS navigation systems used by John Deere tractors. Think about that sentence. Did you ever think those words would go together?
I would just think they would third party it and use somebody else's GPS.
They create these ultra tight straight lines for planting.
Oh, I guess they can't. Okay.
And they were knocked offline. That's it.
So the rutabaga fields look like all willy-nilly?
Yeah, especially the beets. It's beets.
Why especially the beets?
Because that's how farmers party. They turn up the beets. That was a great one.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
They turn up the beets.
I heard it.
Hey, it's Kim Commando today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital because, after all, I'm Kim Commando. But yeah, that works. And in case you're wondering, this is not the huge award-winning best show in the entire world about all things digital. Right, Andrew?
I never rewatch anything on this show. And I rewatched me saying, who's asking you that from Friday?
Oh, God.
Laughed so hard. So hard. Just at you laughing.
Oh, because that was so funny.
Yeah.
You totally called me out. Nobody asked me that.
No.
Okay. Nobody stops me on the street and said, Kim, just wondering.
What's the difference
between Kim Commando today and the Kim Commando show?
No. What is the difference, though? There's got to be a difference.
Okay. Number one, you're not on the show.
Right. Legally.
Exactly. There's that. And also the show is, every hour it's like the top 5 things that are happening about tech. And then I put in a whole bunch of tips. And then, of course, we have great calls. I mean, really tremendous calls. And that, in fact, if you want to be a caller, the way that you do it's just instead of just sitting on hold for 2 hours like some people do, is that you just go, here's a secret. You go to commando.com and then there's a link at the top that says Ask Kim and just fill out that form.
Set an appointment.
Okay. Then you set an appointment to talk to me. I mean, let me tell you, a lot of people would like to talk to me.
A couple of them want to be in a relationship with you.
I thought that was just the funniest line. All right. We're going to switch gears to something super serious.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
Yeah, we talked about this on the air last week about the Ascension hospital cyber attack. And Southfield, Michigan, among other places, they actually have 140 different hospitals and 40 senior care facilities. And they were a victim of a major cyber attack. Now, I spoke to some politicians when they were at the House on Friday night, and I said, this is actually a major problem. Our hospitals are under attack. And somebody said to me, well, it's not the hospitals. Seniors have lost $3.8 billion. And I'm like, I know that I said, but this is.
Right. Let's bring it back to what we're talking about here, buddy.
Yeah, this is what's happening right now. And so it's something that we all need to be aware of. I mean, fortunately, knock on wood, you and I are both super healthy and we don't have to worry about, rushing to the ER in the event of, something catastrophic happening to us. We just don't feel good, but we have underlying conditions.
Right.
So, if we go to the hospital, we have these underlying conditions. And if there is a cyber attack, the hospitals are so computerized, they are just crap out of luck.
They do nothing. They can't. And I was thinking about this too, because I know we have our guests coming up. Do they not do it for legal responsibilities, or do they not do it because they're not worried about hurting the patient? Are they worried about getting sued? Or are they worried about, or both?
It's probably both. And,
yeah.
And they're just not equipped to handle, to just go flat down. And so joining us is Zackery Ryan. Hey, Zach, glad to have you with us.
Hey, guys.
So, Zach, tell us what happened to you at an Ascension hospital during this cyber attack in Michigan.
Well, where do we start? Because there's a lot. Honestly, I went in by ambulance. My wife called 911 that day, and I told them that I did not want to go to Ascension in the first place. I actually wanted to go to a different hospital. I wanted to go to Corewell Health, and since Ascension was the closest hospital,
yeah, they take.
That's when we got to start going.
Right.
I was there from 2 p.m. Tuesday to when the cyber attack happened, and then that happened around 7:30 a.m. on Wednesday, and it was absolute chaos, to be honest. Everybody was.
So why did you have to go by ambulance? What were your symptoms? What was going on with you health wise?
So I was actually rectally bleeding, and also throwing up and vomiting blood.
Oh wow!
So I thought my colon cancer came back, maybe.
Okay.
So that was the reason we went in. After that, I didn't get any medical attention there at all.
Now, you say you didn't get any medical attention. Was it no one was coming in, or they would come in and tell you, we can't do anything for you?
You're in a room, nobody was paying attention to you?
So at first I was in the hallway for, I would say, 3 hours in the emergency room. Like, I wasn't outside. I wasn't in the waiting room. I was just in the hallway until room opened up. Finally, I seen a doctor I would say 5 minutes. He came in and checked on me. After that, I didn't see a doctor. He dosed me up with Dilaudid before the cyber attack happened. After that, nothing at all. Didn't see a nurse, didn't see a doctor, didn't see for about 7 hours after that. And then finally I questioned what was going on. And I asked the nurse who ran past me. I'm like, hey, I screamed at her actually and said, what's going on? She's like, well, our computer systems are down right now. So there's nothing that we can possibly do for you until we get prior authorization to dispense medication that way. And still just sat there and waited in pain.
Wow. When you were in the midst of it, in that 7-hour stretch, did you know it was a cyber attack? Were people talking about what was going on? Other people in the hospital?
No, not at all. You would see the nurses and the doctors, and all of a sudden, tech people. You would see IT people come down and start taking computers, like the rollaway computers the nurses use when they roll into your room. Absolutely just shocked. And then finally, I asked around, I think it was like 7:45, what the hell is going on right now? And finally the nurse said, well, we had an attack on our system and everything's down. So then you look and you see nurses scrambling to get papers, clipboards.
Oh my gosh.
Start
what a
charting.
Nightmare.
I can't believe they waited 7 hours to say, let's go back to the old way we used to do it. You have people like
Zach, how many people were also around you? I mean, it must have been backed up at this point.
At this point, it was backed up. Ambulances were coming in, and the nurses said we have to divert them. Mm-hmm. Also, people were walking out. I tried to wait it out for hours. I think I waited it out 72 hours before I gave up and left.
72 hours?
Yep.
My God.
I stayed almost 3 days. And I decided to go to Corewell Health. I took a lift, didn't call my wife because I didn't want to worry her. You know, she's at home with the kids. And I'm just like, you know what, let me just grab a lift real quick. I'm not calling her. So then I go there, tell them what was going on at Ascension, and they already knew. So the hospital over there, Corewell, got me right in. Like, right in. They just walked me right to the back. to check
Wow.
because I was bleeding so much. Like,
So 3
I
days
literally-
later, you're still having all the same symptoms.
yeah.
Oh,
Gosh. And so when you got there, how long was it for them to diagnose you, treat you, and get you out of there?
5 hours. I was
5
in and out in
hours?
5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
72 hours of nothing, 5
Yep.
hours, and you're out, and you're on your way home.
Because my main doctors are actually from Cornwall Health, and that's where it comes into place where I asked the ambulance to take me to Cornwall
Right.
in the first place, but they're like, no, we're gonna take you to the Ascension.
Yeah, because they have to take you whoever the closest
Yeah.
one is for insurance purposes, and that's
Liability
Yeah.
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
it's all things like that.
I get it.
So when you were at the Ascension Hospital for 72 hours, super long time, were you in a room at this point? You were no longer in the hallway, right?
I was in a room at this point, and I'm just scratching and fiddling my fingers, like waiting, and then I'm in deep, severe pain at this point.
Oh, so you were so they weren't able to give you anything to monitor the pain?
No. So the first thing, when I first went into the hospital, they dosed me up with 1 milligram of Dilaudid. After that, I was knocked out for a few hours. And then the pain started to come back after about 4 hours. I think it worked. And then I was wondering, I asked, the nurse, hey, listen, I'm in pain. My stomach, I'm feeling like I'm about to throw up. Can you give me some nausea, Zofran, whatever you can give me?
Sure.
And at this point, she's like, there's nothing we can do. I don't even know where your doctor is. We're trying to find your doctor.
Boy, and so, but it just shows you how vulnerable we are
Mhm.
to a cyber attack.
Because we made ourselves so reliant on everything. Like it took them, if with his math, 10 hours to figure out, hey, let's go get a piece of paper and start charting this like nurses and hospitals used to chart.
I wonder, and Zach, you were like boots on the ground. Would it have helped if you had like a copy of your paper chart, or were they just so disorganized and so crazed because of the cyber attack?
They were disorganized, completely disorganized. It was total chaos. They were running, trying to find doctors. Like I said, if you would have brought papers in, they probably would have just put them to the side because they had no idea what was going on. And then this one night, the nicest nurse out of everybody was like, after 7 hours of me without pain meds, said, hey, I'm going to find you another doctor real quick to get you
Thank
something
God for her.
to hold you over.
Right.
7 hours later, I got another shot of Dilaudid.
Wow.
And that helped. And then finally, midnight Thursday comes around, and I was in there Tuesday to Thursday. I was like, I got to go. You're not doing anything for me. You took me for one test for nuclear imaging to see if I was like bleeding because they didn't want to do any CAT scans on me because I've had multiple CAT scans over the last 3 months with the cancer, with going into remission April 15th, with colon cancer. So that was a blessing.
Right.
That Cornwall got to tell me, hey, you're good, but Ascension took me to this test but couldn't tell me anything. And I was there for 72 hours, and they did that test within, I would say, the first 13 hours I was there.
But your cancer did not come back, right, Zach?
It did not come back.
Excellent.
No,
Excellent.
not at all.
Congratulations.
So Zach, for anybody who's listening and watching right now, if they go to a hospital where somebody mentions cyber attack, would their next stop being, okay, we need to get the heck out of here?
Yeah, 100%. Because right now, I mean, here from what I'm still hearing here in Michigan, at least, is that the systems are going to be down for about 2 weeks. That they're paper charting 2 weeks here in Michigan.
So at no point in that 72 hours, no one pulled out a computer for the whole
Nobody
time.
pulled out a computer. There was no computers.
Okay.
No computers whatsoever. So I would say if you hear cyber attack at a hospital, run to the nearest one that you feel comfortable with going to.
I think it's interesting that you checked yourself out of the hospital. I had an incident with my mom. I was my mother's caregiver when she was going through pancreatic cancer, and I was at a Good Sam hospital where it's like bullet wounds and drugs and everything. And I'm like, we need to get out of here. And I'm like, I need to check my mother out. And they're like, no, you're not allowed to check her out. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm leaving. And then they said, no, you're not allowed to check her out. So I'm like, come on, Mom, we're out of here.
Then don't check us out. We're just out.
Yes.
That's what I did. I didn't even sign it, and not the paper that they asked you to fill out. I just walked out. I walked out because I knew that I wouldn't have a chance, because at this time I was even talking to my lawyers at this point, because I do have a family lawyer that handles stuff like this. So I contacted him, and he's working on seeing what he can do to honestly sue.
Yeah, well, because in a couple of weeks, you're going to walk to your mailbox and there's going to be a bill in there for a 3-day stay
100%.
and imaging and all the medication that you gave you.
And they're probably going to have to do a lot of it by hand, so they're just going to guess.
Yeah. I think we gave him 4 pounds of gelatin. I think that's what we did.
And then he had a filet for dinner.
That's true, every night.
So yeah, no, it's just like, honestly, my entire family, my wife, my kids, they were all scared. They didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
Neither did I.
Who would? Well, Zach, thanks for coming on and telling us your story.
Yeah, no problem.
Because I think it's important that we all realize that cyber attacks are real. Mm-hmm. They happen, and so often we just have this idea that it was a data breach, it was a cyber attack.
They have my email address, big deal.
Oh, but it becomes a life and death situation.
Just run. That's Zach's tip.
Honestly, run, protect yourself, and protect your identity. Honestly, I froze my credit as soon as I heard. I went right on my phone in pain and froze my credit. So
that's smart.
It is smart. Hey, it's Kim Commando today, where we talk about all things digital. All things digital. And if you are listening to the show, make sure that you give us a great 5-star review and say a few kind words, because that helps us get up in the charts, say on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, or wherever you're listening to Kim Commando today. And if you are watching the live video feed, make sure that you drop a few good comments about, how much you love me, how great I am.
Those come naturally. You don't have to ask for those.
I'm just teasing.
But they do. They absolutely do.
They do. All right. So I thought I would put together some liners. Like, for example, like if I wasn't so happily married, if I was online trying to find somebody.
Right.
Okay. So
these are your pickup lines, or this is your description for your profile?
These are my pickup lines.
Okay.
Okay. So like, let's say I went out with somebody a couple of times, and now we're, going back and forth online dating. Are you a light bulb because you light up my life?
Oh, God. You would not be on the market for very long. Someone's going to snatch that up.
How about, I like you butter than anyone else?
I don't even understand that. Why? What's the reference to butter?
It's just better.
Okay.
Okay. Or how about this one? Do you like raisins? Because how do you feel about a date?
That one's not bad. But you may be the exact type of clientele Bumble is looking for. The CEO of Bumble did a live presentation about the future of the company. So it is a Bumble-friendly crowd and a Bumble-friendly presenter.
Okay.
And she said that, first of all, in the future, Bumble's not going to be a dating website. It's going to be a community site or a community app.
Okay.
Where if you want to find someone to go play pickleball with, if you want to find someone to date with, if you want to find someone to do car shows with.
Don't we already have all those?
No, they're not good enough.
Okay.
You got to wait for Bumble in a couple of years. As she said, not even now.
Wait, let me ask my guys at Morgan Stanley. Do we have any money in Bumble? Because we got to dump that crap like right now. Okay.
Then she said, also in the future, Bumble will be offering AI dating concierges.
Okay.
So let's say we're both on the app. We're both single. We're on the app.
All right.
And you have a dating concierge, and you tell your dating concierge everything about you, your likes and your dislikes, your deepest, your goals, your fantasies. And I do the same thing with mine. And then our dating concierge go on a date.
Like an AI date.
Correct.
So like these two AI chatbots.
Yes.
Are like talking to each other.
Trying to find if we are compatible.
We're not.
No. And then after that, it will recommend to you, hey, I went on a date with so-and-so. You should actually start talking to them in real life because they're compatible. She brings this up at the conference, openly laughed at. Laughed at by the audience and the person hosting.
Oh, she worked hard.
And she's like, no. And she stopped everybody. And she's like, imagine this scenario. The entire city of San Francisco, your AI concierge is going to meet everyone.
Every homeless person and drug addict on the street.
Everyone who's pooping in the middle of the street.
Exactly.
And then we'll narrow it down to the 3 people you're compatible with. There's only 3 people in San Francisco that I'm going to be compatible with?
That's sad.
That's so sad. And the internet's obviously reacting at this. They're laughing at her right away, just as long as everyone else in the... You got to watch the clip. It's so funny because she gets angry.
She does.
Because she thought this was the breakthrough of the future, and they're just openly laughing at her.
Oh, that's sad.
I mean, dating's human experience, right?
It is.
Especially part of the American culture. I obviously have a wonderful girlfriend named Jennifer, and I am not on the market. Don't say anything.
Heather.
Don't say anything.
I liked Heather, though.
There was no Heather.
And Kristen was hot.
She was hot. But I liked first dates. I liked the nervousness. I liked the intrigue.
It's human.
Yes, absolutely. Don't take this away from us.
Oh.
It's going to flop.
Our Bumble was meant to be.
Of all I've heard today, that one's not bad.
Hey, it's Kim Commando today. So wherever you are, make sure that you like,
comment,
and share.
Oh, and don't forget to follow.
And don't forget to follow and subscribe on YouTube. I mean, just do it all.
It's subscribe YouTube. It's all the same thing.
I know, but sometimes people have asked me. They stop me on the street. And they say, if I subscribe to your YouTube channel, does that cost anything?
My side hurts right now.
And I said, no.
Actually, that was believable. I think someone could have asked you that.
They could have.
It's YouTube subscriptions are free. It's just a reminder when we go live, when we're on, when we post clips.
All right, so let's talk about YouTube. You know, people on YouTube, they like to do things to generate views.
Attention.
So Logan Paul, Japan suicide forest.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, he filmed and posted a video showing somebody who had died by suicide in this forest. And that was awful.
And he survived. They tried to cancel him and he survived it.
Yes. That was in 2017. Nikado Avocado.
I'm not familiar with Nikado Avocado, but it's a great name.
Has pivoted and got a lot of views for doing outrageous mukbang.
Oh.
I can't watch that.
I can watch it for about 13 seconds and then I have to swipe.
How would you describe that to somebody who's just listening right now?
Massive amounts of food and one person takes it all in. And it's mixed with ASMR. So you hear every sloppy chew
disgusting.
And bite and suck.
It's awful.
It's awful.
Then you have Mr. Beast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's in a
Bigger
whole different category. His first video, I looked this up, went viral in 2017, counting to 100,000 video.
That was his first one that went viral.
Yeah. He has a few more subscribers than we do.
What does he have? Like 13,000, 14,000?
257 million subscribers.
Just a couple more.
Yeah, just a couple more. So I did some research because I want to say, what was really the first video that went viral where it kind of set the stage for people to doing things outrageous?
Okay.
And it was actually in 2012, Red Bull sponsored Felix Baumgarten's.
Yeah. I watched this live.
Here, take a look. So he's getting ready to jump. He went up in a balloon, right?
It's going to be the highest drop for any human being.
Could you do this?
I get nervous halfway up a ladder. There's no way I could do this.
I'd be crapping my pants right now.
I'd be dead. I'd literally have 16 heart attacks and be dead.
You know what? I would have a heart attack. Look at this, jumping out.
Terrifying.
Okay, he's jumping from the stratosphere, and he's going to land
and he's twisting. Look, he's twisting. It's funny. I actually was working your husband's radio show.
Oh, were you?
When this happened, and we talked about it live on the air. And he made it.
Yeah, he made it. Okay. Well, thank God everybody's clapping.
I think that was also one of the first ever live events on YouTube.
Yeah, that was supposed to be like the pivotal moment on YouTube. Aside from, the first video was a guy at a zoo.
Right.
Like looking at an elephant. It's like, look how far we've come. Now, the reason why I bring all this up is we now have a YouTube video.
Yes. A woman named VP. She is a streamer, vlogger, however, her entire life is live on the internet. And she's known for, should I put it delicately, doing a lot of drugs.
Really?
Smokes a lot of marijuana.
I don't follow her, so I don't really know what she does. She's smoking dope?
Yep.
Is she doing anything else?
No, just usually the weed.
Okay.
That's how old people say it, the weed.
Is it the weed?
And so she's smoking a fatty and talking about whether or not she's going to get back together with her boyfriend.
Now she's driving.
Not yet. Then she immediately walks out to her car, gets in, and this video is what was live streamed.
Hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder
She hit a human. There might be a couple curse words here.
Oh my God, are you okay? No. What the fuck did you do? I didn't see her. Why are you not looking? I was looking. I didn't see you. What the fuck? I'm telling you, I did not see you. Okay, Ann? What the fuck? Just tell me how I can help.
How you can help is you can stop smoking dope and driving your car, you moron.
So she then looks down at the camera and says, well, that's my content for today. And she shuts it off. Then she goes back live later that day. And she said the cop was so thankful that she didn't hit and run because so many people hit and run in California. And that she's not worried about being sued because she has insurance and her insurance will pay for it.
Excellent.
And that the person was fine.
Good for her. Okay.
The fact of the matter is, she was smoking marijuana prior to that accident. If this goes viral, how do they not come after her legally?
They have to.
I mean, that is a DWI.
They should come after her.
Absolutely. And she says the police were praising her. She was being so helpful, and she didn't leave the scene of an accident. And they let her off. They let her go.
Well, she's pretty. She's had a little tank top on.
You think that helps? A tube top and blonde hair helps when it comes to dealing with police?
I'd hate to say yes.
If she started crying, that would be the trifecta.
Yeah.
The women getting out of a ticket trifecta.
But I can't believe people sit around. They got nothing else to do in their world. And to watch some moron talk about her boyfriend and smoking dope and then getting in a car. And it's like, there's like these money influencers. And there's one that comes across my feed. I'll tell you a long story another time.
All right.
But it's like she's got nothing going for her. She hasn't done anything in her life. Okay. Except marry a guy with a lot of money, 30 years older than she is.
Oh.
And she gives business advice.
Well, she knows how to invest. She invested in the old dude.
There is that.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.